all my yarns are vegan, making sure that anyone can wear my brand if they want to. Even from a very young age, I think I already had my own mind of fashion, and I wish I could have just told my younger self, like, just don't wear it, like, just don't worry, like, you don't have to squeeze yourself into something that you think is fashionable just to fit in. Like, it's okay, just wear something else, no one cares.
Welcome to Off the Hanger, the fashion podcast where we dive deep into our guests' wardrobes, finding out their favourite fashion pieces and the stories behind them. This week's guest is Cara Melzack. She's the founder of slow fashion knitwear brand Cara and I. I'll leave a link to the website in the description below because you are definitely going to want to check this brand out. I hope you enjoy this episode. Cara, thank you so much for being a guest on Off the Hanger. It's really lovely to chat with you today. Before we dive into your wardrobe, I am super excited to hear all about Cara and I because I'm obsessed with all the pieces on your website.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, firstly, a huge thank you for inviting me on the show. It's really, really exciting to be here. So yeah, I started Cara and I almost 6 years ago. I've always worked in fashion on the buying side, and I was made redundant from my buying role. And then at that point, I was at a bit of a crossroads. What should I do with my life? I always wanted to own my own business, and I thought, you know what? Now's the time. I'd already been buying knitwear for the brand that I was working for at the time, and I noticed there was a bit of a gap in the market for colourful knitwear that was very designed into, had a lot of personality, had a lot going on, and was affordable as well. So this was pre-COVID, so pre-dopamine dressing. The high street landscape in knitwear was very minimalistic, like lots of beiges, like neutral tones, which are beautiful, but there was no color. So I kind of wanted to change that, wanted to kind of disrupt that market. And when having bought from all over the world, I decided when I started my brand, it was really important to make it here in the UK. The UK used to be huge for knitwear and textiles, but now it's like slowly dwindling as everyone's outsourced. But I wanted to bring that back to the UK to support the UK fashion made industry and have that transparency. I only work with fully audited factories that pay their workers fairly. You know, they're working in safe environments. Everything I do, I make sure I'm making thoughtful decisions and conscious decisions. So the whole way that the collections are designed is with slow fashion in mind. They're statement, colorful pieces, but they're not trend pieces. So they're going to be relevant this season, next season, seasons to come. So you can just buy with confidence that you're never going to feel out of style with my collections. And then if you suddenly do decide you want to pass it on, you can do it through my resale marketplace on my website. So I've got my own little Vinted set up, just to kind of extend the life cycle of that garment and give it a new home if you were ready to part with it.
The whole ethos of the brand is absolutely incredible, but also so admirable. So many other brands should be looking at you as a blueprint and going, this is the way that this should be done. Because I think it's incredible to have that love of sustainability, but also actually to put it into action. There's lots of brands out there who are talking the big talk about sustainable fashion, but then they're not walking the walk. And I think you're such a good shining example of how this can be done in a really brilliant way.
Thank you. Like, I'm not perfect. Like, I am by no means fully sustainable in any way. I think it's really difficult for small brands to be fully sustainable in every aspect. What I've chosen is to focus on the social side. So really making sure who is making my garments are being treated fairly. And just trying to do my best as I grow. That's everything between trying to be as inclusive as possible. So all my yarns are vegan, making sure that anyone can wear my brand if they want to. I try to go up to a larger sizing. So I go from a size 6 to a size 22, which is hard to do when you're a small brand, but I'd love to have like bigger sizes and smaller sizes, but it's like this is where I am at the moment. Just the way that I shoot the collections, like on my website, always make sure I shoot on like a size 16 to 18, as well as like a slimmer model, just so people can really see. Everyone's got every different body types. Like everyone's different. So to just try and make it as inclusive as possible as I'm building.
But I think that's brilliant that you're really showing that it's not just about going, right, we're going to be sustainable and we're going to be perfect at absolutely everything. It is that journey. And
Yeah,
it's the same for our personal wardrobes. We don't just wake up one morning and go, right, I'm going to be sustainable. I'm only going to buy sustainable things and I'm not going to have anything in my wardrobe that's come from fast fashion, because then you're causing more of the problem. If you suddenly get rid of all of the fast fashion in your wardrobe, what happens to it? So,
exactly.
yeah, I think it's
Exactly. And it's like my clothes, my knits are affordable, but they're not accessible to everyone. And we've got to remember that, sustainability does come with a slightly premium price point that not everyone can access. And, everyone wants to be able to enjoy clothes and find their unique way of like, expressing themselves. So if it's fine to also shop fast fashion, but do it in a responsible way. Don't buy it just for that one moment and then chuck it. Like, if that's something you really want and you're going to get lots and lots and lots of wear out of it, then go for it. It's just, I think, just being mindful in your choices and just being aware of what you're doing, why you're buying something. And I think, everything's changed from COVID. Everyone's slowed down. And I think everyone's approach to fashion has really slowed down. Or maybe that's just my little bubble that I'm in. But, there's, I don't feel like a slave to trends as I used to when I was younger, where you'd have that anxiety that you had to wear something new going out and it had to be the latest trend. And what if I didn't look right? I had so much anxiety around that when I was younger. And I just don't have that anymore because my whole outlook has completely changed, that I just want to wear what makes me happy, which is comfortable, that is oversized, and that has color. And that's basically all those are the three things that I need.
And I do wonder whether that is a product of us being women in our 30s and 40s, and we're just more comfortable with ourselves now, so we don't feel the need to conform in that way, or if it's just an overall thing. And I think a lot of it could just be down to social media, in that no longer is there that pressure to be in the latest trend to fit in with everyone else, because we suddenly see such a wider
Mm.
range of individuals and really unique styles that we go, actually, I can just be authentic to myself. I don't need to be the same as everyone else. I wonder where the balance is on that.
Yeah, I really agree with that. We see so much experimental dressing out there that, when I was growing up, we just had the magazines, and what was on the mannequins in the shop windows, that was our eyes. Okay, you had like TV and stuff, but that's what you saw. So everyone drove to look like that. But now we see so much. There's loads of different niches. I love the dopamine dressing because yes, it's colorful dressing, but it's really dressing to make you happy, which is such a big ethos of the brand as well. Like, dress for joy and spark joy into your life. And that can be color, that can be neutrals, that can be whatever you want. It's like whatever makes you feel happy, just go for it. And I think by seeing that, I guess, over and over and over with lots of different influencers or your peers or whoever, content creators, it kind of, yeah, it gives you as a consumer a confidence that it's okay to do that as well if everyone else is doing it.
Let's dive into your wardrobe now and some of the stories with your wardrobe, because I imagine this is going to be very beautiful and very colourful. Let's start with your earliest fashion memory. What were you like as a child when it came to clothes?
So I had a memory I was discussing with my mum just before I came. And she reminded me at 4 years old, mum used to dress me and my sister exactly the same. Well, she did from when we were very young. And at 4 years old, I said, no, mum, I don't want to wear the same as my sister anymore. I want to wear what I like. unique. So even from a very young age, I think I already had my own mind of fashion, of what I wanted to wear. My mum was a fashion designer, so it's kind of always been in our world of, fashion. Not that I really understood what that was when I was 4 years old, but I've always been in that world. So yeah. Other than that, it was at my 6th birthday party, which was the memory I was actually going to share, where I had chosen my outfit. Me and my mum went shopping. I had this beautiful little like white crop top with a matching monochrome skirt, and had a little top notch. And then I remember it was in our garden, and I fell and I got grass marks all over it. I was so upset.
Oh no.
There I was in my white little outfit. Anyway, so, oh yeah.
Oh, you see, there's nothing worse, especially when you're so set on an outfit. For me, it's generally food. My downfall is always food. I'll be wearing something fabulous. I'll feel great. We'll go for food, and I'll just
And you're
slop it
like,
all over myself.
that's
I'm like,
it.
why am I like this? Why don't I just wear a bib and get over it? What is the oldest thing in your wardrobe?
So I was rummaging in my loft to get this out. I'm gonna go grab it. Oldest thing in my wardrobe is my mum's sparkly boob tube from the 80s, from when she was younger. So I used to dress up in this when I was a kid and wore it as a mini skirt.
Yes,
When I was, a
multifunctional.
lot younger. And then when I got older, I would wear it out as boob tube when we used to go out clubbing in Camden, in my little skinny jeans and my sparkly boob tube and my biker boots, thinking I was so cool. So yeah, this is probably the oldest piece. And I wish my mum had kept more of her clothes. I'm so annoyed at her. So I have, throughout the ages, kept little pockets of clothes in case, well, luckily I've got 2 daughters. So I was saving them in case I had daughters. So I've got, from every stage of my life, certain key pieces that I would just love them to play dress up in or wear when they're older. Just those memories.
What an amazingly insightful thing to do. I would have never thought to do that, but that is such a good idea. I'm the same with my mum. I look back at pictures of my mum when she was younger. Particularly, there's a photo of her at maybe 16, 17, and she is wearing the most epic 3-piece suit, right? Somebody had made this thing for her. It fit like a dream, and it was incredible, and it had the flares with it and the waistband. And I'm just like, where is this now?
Like, why have you not kept that for me?
Why do I not own this?
Yeah.
What has happened to this thing? And over time, she just gradually got rid of all her incredible
Yeah.
things. And so, yeah, and to actually have the foresight to go, no, do you know what? I'm going to save little bits of things, little special bits of things to be able to give to my daughters. They're going to appreciate that so much. That's
Or
so
they're going to be like, what is this, mum? Like, what is this? I don't want this. This isn't my stuff.
maybe in their teens, but by the time
Yes.
they get to the 20s and 30s, they'll be like, my mum was an absolute rock star. This is great. What's the piece in your wardrobe that gets the most compliments? Is it a piece from your own brand?
Yes. So
Good, cool.
it obviously comes in waves, depending on what I'm wearing, I guess, for the season. So at the moment, I'm wearing the one that I get the most compliments in. I'll just do a little. So this is my little check cardigan. So it's a new piece from the latest collection. But whenever I wear this one out, people always like, "Oh, where's that from?" I'm like, "Oh, it's from a knitwear brand." Like, it's from my
so good.
brand.
It's giving Battenberg vibes,
Yeah.
and I'm here for anything that reminds me of cake.
Yeah, anything. Yeah, ice cream cake. So yeah, it's just a really easy fit. It's like a boxy, oversized fit, super comfortable, perfect for like this timing. But yeah, whenever I chuck this little number on, people always like, oh, that's a nice cardigan.
The colours on it are gorgeous. I love that.
Thank
So,
you.
what is the most expensive piece in your wardrobe? You don't have to share if you don't want to, but you can spill the tea if you're feeling
Yes,
generous.
it's my wedding dress. Let's be honest. That is, yeah, tucked away nicely, probably never to see the light of day again, but that is definitely the most expensive piece in my wardrobe.
What's it like? What kind of dress is it?
It was like I had a bodice and then like a relaxed skirt. I'll share I'll share a picture of it. Though I had a very love-hate relationship with my wedding dress. I found the perfect dress. You wear the sample size, so they like tuck it all in, whatever. And then they take your measurements. And then I was like, fine, I'm going to go to the gym, lose some weight, whatever, tone up for my wedding. The dress came back, and I don't know what happened, but it was too small. And I'd already lost some weight, and they're like, it's you've put on weight. And from that moment, you're like, this is not going to go well. So I had to just basically lose loads more weight to try and fit into. They had to let it out, and it just never fitted how I envisioned. No one noticed. Like all things, you're your highest critique on the day. No one saw that it wasn't. It looked fine. It looked great. Like, it looked fine, but I always knew it never fitted quite exactly how I wanted. But that's life, isn't it? Nothing is perfect. Nothing should be perfect. You have your day and things go wrong, but it doesn't matter because it's a life, right? Not just a day. So all these lessons learned. But yeah, so I kind of just stuck it in a box. I've never looked at it again. Terrible.
What's the newest addition you've got in your wardrobe?
Right. The newest addition, I'm going to do a little sneak peek of my next winter collection.
Ooh.
Which I picked out this lovely little cardigan, which is an update of a style that we had this season. But I've just updated the stitch. I don't know if you can see. So I've gone with the brand. I really work on my stitches, really trying to make things as unique as possible. Like, obviously in the high street, there's lots of like ready orange cardigans, but what I do is I design all the stitches myself, all the placements, the shapes, the color combinations, just to make them really unique. So yeah, so this is the cardigan. It's got a massive balloon sleeve, which is a bit of a signature of the brand. And then it's got this lovely pale blue tipping on the hem, again, just to give that extra little attention to detail. So yeah, and I always test drive my pieces of the new collection. I just wear them out and about, see what people think, how do they feel, how do they fit on me. So yeah, this is one I've been kind of sporting
I'm
recently.
obsessed. I love that. I love the contrast on the hem, the stitch, the whole thing is just incredible. But when you're doing your test drives, do you then have people going, where can I buy this? And you then have to go, oh, it's not quite released yet?
Yes. And then it's the whole like, oh, it's my fashion brand. Do you want to follow me on Instagram? So join up to my mailing list. No, it's like, yeah, a little bit of PR.
Excellent work. You've got to get it out there. You've got to be shouting it from the rooftops. What's the most sentimental piece you have?
Right. So for this, that was a really tough one because obviously throughout your life, you have lots of moments, like what they called flashbulb moments in your life where you remember certain things in a certain way. But I pulled out this skirt, which is a Ted Baker skirt. So my first job in fashion was at Ted Baker. I had like a month-long internship. Then I went to work on the shop floor in the House of Fraser on Oxford Street for 6 months. And then I finally got the job in the head office. And that was me starting my journey in fashion. And this is what I wore on the first day of my job because I'd already worked in stores, so I had it. And this print in particular was a bit of an iconic Ted Baker print of the time. And this skirt, like, we repeated it. There was a dress, there was jumpers, like there was loads in this print, and we did loads and loads and loads of it. And I just remember walking into the head office just thinking like, oh, I've made it. Little did I know, I was like entry level, and my goodness, I had a massive journey ahead of me, to get to where I am now. And this was, goodness me, this was like 16 years ago now, a long time ago. So yeah, so again, I kept hold of the skirt for my girls to wear, but also it just, it meant so much to me. Like, I was like, I didn't study fashion. I wasn't trained in fashion. I did sociology at university. I didn't do art or textiles at school. I didn't really know I wanted to go into fashion until I got some work experience in a buying office at Dorothy Perkins at the summer of my first year of uni. And that's when I kind of decided, right, this is what I want to do. But I'd already started my degree. So I just had to graft and get much work experience as humanly possible. I worked at suppliers. I worked at, just try to get most to try and get my foot in because I was already, it's such a competitive competitive career choice. And I didn't have the fashion degree that everyone else had. So when I finally actually got a job, I was like, yes, I've done it.
It's so nice to hear of an unconventional journey, though, because I think we are so ingrained with this idea of this is the process. You go to school, you go to sixth form, you then go to university, you do your degree in your chosen field, and then you will get the perfect job at the end of it. And that's not how it works.
No. And people change direction, change your mind. I actually thought I wanted to work in magazines, which I now, the person to put the magazines together, which I at the time didn't know was graphic design. So I got work experience on You Magazine. I was very fortunate. And again, I'd already started my degree, and they're like, right, if you want to do this, you need to go and train as a graphic designer. I was like, well, probably not going to do that. Obviously, it wasn't my passion. But yeah, life isn't linear. And I think I'm glad I didn't do a fashion focused degree. If I'd known about it, maybe I would have, but it just broadened my skill set and my horizon a little bit, that if I didn't end up doing fashion, I could have pivoted and did something else. I wish I'd done something around business studies, which probably would have helped me now. But yeah, just if I always say to people, just because you haven't, so many people want to go into fashion, but they haven't studied it. I'm like, that's okay. You've just got to have that drive. You've got to have that passion in any career choice. As long as you go for it and get work, you just got to get work experience. That's what people want to see, right? But yeah.
So good. It is. It's just about having that drive and being willing to put the graft in, I think.
Yeah.
What is the piece of your wardrobe that most sums you up?
Right. So this is, grab it. Basically, before I only wore knitwear, when I started my brand, I only wore floaty, colourful maxi or midi dresses. I don't know if you can even see this one. I'll kind of show it. So this is actually from a brand called Fika. I got it last year, but it kind of does sum me up. It's colourful, it's oversized, it's comfortable. It's something that you can just whack on and just feel good in it. That's why I just love oversized. I think also having 2 children, my body shape has completely changed. So where I used to wear very form-fitted clothes, the skinny jeans, the tight jump, literally just that isn't me anymore. And I'm still, I guess, figuring out what my new style is. I'm still growing into my new body shape, which is absolutely fine. Obviously, I've given life to 2 children. It's fine for my body to change. But I just love how things like this make me feel just very comfortable, but still put together.
The print's incredible, and the color, I love it. I love a printed big floaty dress. And you can just have dinner with a starter and a dessert and eat the bread basket and all of those things, and then still not sit at the end and go, oh God, I'm going to have to undo my trousers. I'm so uncomfortable.
Exactly.
I just want to eat all of the things and flounce about. And I love something that's got lots of fabric to it, because it's that sense of drama and that fluidity and that movement, and I swoosh into places, which is,
And this one has buttons, which for breastfeeding is perfect. And it is amazing how many dresses don't have buttons in the world. It's crazy. No one has buttons.
This is it. The breastfeeding wardrobe options are so limited.
Limiting.
Yeah. So limiting.
Especially if you want to dress. If you want separates, obviously it's much easier. But if you want to dress, it's especially in a specific type of style, which So the brand's called Fika. They're super sustainable as well. I absolutely love them. So everyone go check them out as well.
It's a top tip. Have you ever had a wardrobe malfunction, and would you like to share?
Yes, I have. So when I was younger, my parents very kindly gave me some money to go and buy a coat. So off I went to I live in London, so off I went to Covent Garden to go buy my coat. Obviously, came home with a pair of Miss 60 jeans instead because that's what you do when you're 16, right? And these jeans I lived in. They were pale grey, like flares, low waist, obviously the era of Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. And I lived in them. I wore them to death, to the point where I was at a party, like loving life, obviously doing dance moves, and then they ripped at the party. This is great. And yeah, fine. When I got them stitched up, they ripped again, and eventually I had to just I don't know if I've still got those actually. I think they were just disintegrated because I wore them
Oh no. But I love the idea of having a piece that you wear it so much that eventually it just gives in
yeah,
because you've absolutely adored it and worn it time and time and time and time again. That eventually it just goes, something's got to give, girl. Leave me alone.
it's enough. Stop wearing me.
What are your favourite shoes?
So I'm not a shoe person. Like I have very awkward feet. They like rub on everything. So my favorite shoes are my Birkenstocks, I think, which I'm not going to show because I've worn them to death and they are disgusting. But yeah, I think probably my Birkenstocks. They're super comfortable. They have arch support. It's what I need with my awkward feet. They go with everything, and I love having my toes out. Like as soon as I come home, socks off, bare feet. Like I just hate my feet being enclosed. So the minute I'm like, great, the sun's out, I can get my Birkenstocks out. Great. Um, so yeah, my Birks are my faves.
Is there a dream fashion item that you would love to own? You can have it irrespective of cost, practicality, it being available in this decade. It can be from any time period. What would you have?
Yeah, this one was one I was like, I don't know. Is my honest answer. I I think because I'm still figuring out my style, what I wanted to have. Also, like I don't really like follow trends as such. Like where we're talking about, like I just dress what makes me happy. And to be honest, I just my brand, the knits I'm designing and the knits I want to wear. Like that's kind of how the brand's evolved. I'm like, what would I want to wear? I'm just going to make that. And it seems to be working. So it's kind of like I get to wear my dream knits anyway because that's what I'm making. um so yeah, I actually don't have an answer. I don't know. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. That's all right. I love that you don't have an answer. Not everybody has to have an answer. That is really cool that you're just at a point where you can go, this is what I'm dreaming about. I'm going to have it made. Great.
Yeah.
And but also, I'm going to share it so that everybody else can buy it too.
Yes, and hopefully everyone likes it as well.
Is there a piece of fashion advice that you would have given to your younger self?
um yes, and I think it's something we've touched on already, is that just wear what makes you happy. I remember I must have been 12 or 13, and I wanted to be really trendy. I was, was still finding our style. I was quite like a gawky child, like hadn't really like found my flair at all at that point. But my mum took me shopping. We went into Tammy, and then I saw the mannequin wearing like these khaki trousers and like a matching top and a matching gilet. I was like, yes, that's what I want to wear. Bought it, was so uncomfortable in it, knew it didn't really suit me, but I just made my mum buy this for me. Like, went out, wore it all the time, but just never felt comfortable in it. Like, and I wish I could have just told my younger self, like, just don't wear it. Like, just don't worry. Like, you don't have to squeeze yourself into something that you think is fashionable just to fit in. Like, it's okay. Just wear something else. No one cares.
But I think this is really great because this is advice that you'll give to your daughters as they're growing up. And I think it's such a generational shift to the advice that we were kind of given growing up by our parents, because they were still really caught up in the idea of thin is best and do whatever you can to make yourself look thin, because that was what was supposedly the ideal and the aesthetic. Whereas I think now the advice we're going to give to our children is wear the thing that you think's great.
Yeah.
Like with my son, I know that not always does he kind of see things that are like, for example, if we go into the women's department, which he gets dragged around all the time. He's very cool. He's got very cool kind of little boy style, but he loves a bit of a necklace or a bit of a chain or something that's a bit interesting, something that he just thinks is cool, but it's come from the women's department. And if he goes, I really like that, I'm like, cool, let's get that. I'll never stop him. I'll never go, no, that's a girl's thing, because I don't believe it is. There's
Yeah.
not girls' things and boys' things. There's just things, and you just
Yeah.
like the things that you want to wear. And it's the same with, no, don't buy that because that's not flattering. You should be in that skinny bodycon because that makes you look smaller. It's no. Wear that giant oversized men's blazer that's 3 times too big for you because it just looks cool and you think it looks great. And that's
Yeah.
what's important.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we're just very much more in tune to that kind of thought process, that if I saw my daughter wearing something that I could see she's not comfortable in, I'll be like, do you want to get changed? You don't have to wear this. It's okay. Obviously, we always try and, if you've got an event, try to make her wear like a nice dress. Although my 3-year-old is she knows her own style. She only wants to wear spinny dresses right now, dresses that she can spin around in. So she's already like way ahead of me, choosing her own outfits.
Oh, she's a girl after my own heart. I love a spinny dress. It has been an absolute joy chatting with you. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. But yeah, it's been a blast.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you did, please remember to like, subscribe, follow, leave a rating, a review, recommend it to a friend, shout it from the rooftops, tell your postman. Any of those great things would be much appreciated.